Okay, there's a couple things we could do here. Um, there's two ideas that I'm having. One, I see parentheses, so I want to distribute. Um, I don't have to, but I'm going to because I feel like maybe that's what a lot of people would do. So, and that's not wrong. So, the problem will still work if we distribute. So I'll distribute, and then I'll leave everything else, and then in the next step, I'll figure out what to do. So here I distribute, and what do I get? I have 4y plus 6. Remember, 2 times 2 is 4. And you have to multiply by the other thing in the parentheses. So 2 times 3 is 6. And then I still have all the 4y plus 6. All of that is over negative 5, greater than 6 minus 2y. This is where I think people will get confused. What I would do is probably get rid of the fractions right now. How do you get rid of the fractions, Mr. D? Well, you multiply by the common denominator, and you multiply everything by the common denominator. Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't even know if that's the same voice that I was doing. Yes, okay, so we're gonna multiply everything by the common denominator. But I want to point something out. If I had like x over 5 greater than 2 plus 3x. If I had this, and I wanted to multiply everything by 5, this is just a side note. It has nothing to do with this problem other than the fact that I want to show you something. So if I multiplied everything by 5, that's like 5 over 1, and I multiply by 5 over 1. Great, this is good. Well, here, I don't have to make it a fraction just because these aren't fractions. And I really don't have to make these a fraction anyway, but this is a fraction, so I made this a fraction. Great. And then we know we can cross cancel, so that's pretty good. Really, what's left is just what's on top. Okay. So then we just have x greater than, and then I would distribute over here with 10 plus 15x. And then I could do my other steps to solve. I want you to look at that part. Watch what happens here. If I multiply everything, this is still one fraction. It's still considered one piece, just like this. So, when I multiply by negative 5, I multiply by a negative, and I'm doing it to both sides. That means I have to switch the sign. I usually switch it first. Okay, same thing. In this particular case, since this is one single fraction, we don't have to distribute this. We do not have to. You can, and that's perfectly fine, but then you just have to do a little bit more work, and it doesn't get rid of the fraction right away. But we don't, since this is one single fraction, even though there's two things in the top, since it's one single fraction, we don't have to distribute it. We can do what we did over here and cross cancel. Cross cancel. And then I would distribute that negative 5 there. Hopefully that doesn't make you panic too much. And then I'll just have 4y plus 6. I'll probably show you the other way where you do distribute it and see why it's a little bit more complicated. But still not wrong. You could still get the problem right after that. So negative 5 times 6, that's negative 30. Right? I don't know. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10y. And then variables to one side, numbers to the other. So I'll just do this fairly quickly. Minus 10y. Dos go away. I'm not subtracting it from the 6 because 6 doesn't have a y, so it's not a like term. I'm not really combining like terms. I'm just, well, now I am, but I had to get it to the other side. Okay. I'm doing the opposite operation to balance the inequality. Anyway, this would be negative 6y, right? I just, negative 10 plus 4, that's negative 6. Plus this 6, those go away, so it's less than negative 30. And I want the numbers to the right side, so minus 6 minus 6. Negative 6y less than negative 9. Look at this. I'm dividing by a negative again. Negative 6, negative 6. Immediately, I change the sign. Anytime I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative, immediately I change the sign back. I changed the sign. This one got switched twice. Interesting. Hopefully I didn't screw up. All right. I didn't. Y greater than... I can reduce this. Oh, that's the first time we were actually reducing. Negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. And I can divide both the top and bottom by 3. I'm just reducing the fraction. And what do I get? 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. So y is greater than 3 over 2, which is 1.5. And negative divided by negative is a positive. So that's what we have. Let's see real quick what would happen if we distributed. I'm going to try and take this over here. So what would happen if we distributed instead of cross-canceled? Let's see. Let me change this. Okay, I just made it a little bit more neat. Remember, we were multiplying both sides by -5 so that I could get rid of the fractions, or a fraction. Anytime I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative, I got to switch the sign. Okay, so instead of cross-canceling here, I don't remember what I said. I might have said it wrong. But instead of cross-canceling, we are going to distribute. This is allowed. It's just not the fastest way. It's more writing, but it's still right. Okay, so if I distribute, then I get, 5 times 4 is 20, so negative 20y. And then negative 5 times 6 is negative 30. And I'm dividing by -5. And I already switched the sign, and I'm going to distribute that. So instead of cross-canceling here, we're distributing to the top, which is not wrong. And then we have, what, negative 30, same thing over here, plus 10y. Is that what I had before? Yes. And then you're thinking, like, wait, we still have the fraction. What the heck? But anytime we have addition or subtraction in the numerator, then we can rewrite it like this. Negative 20y. We can write the denominator twice. Negative 5 minus 30 over 5, negative 5. And then I'll copy down the rest. So watch what happens now. Now I can reduce actually I can divide. What's negative 20 divided by negative 5? That's 4y. Negative 30, so whoops. Negative 30 divided by negative 5, that's positive 6. Amazing! This is crazy. So the extra step was splitting up the fraction, and then you get back to what you had before. Look at that. And then it's all the same steps. Okay, that was the longest video that I've made so far.